In this video, I will be showing you how to use Illustrator in order to complete this assignment. The very first thing what you want to do is go ahead and pick the three typographic classifications that you would like to work with. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and find three that I want to work with. I will choose Baskerville, Futura, and Bodoni. And then go ahead and open those sheets up in Illustrator. So here I've got my Bodoni, Baskerville, as well as Futura. You'll notice that at the top here I've also included which classification each typeface belongs to. Right, so the very first thing what you want to do after you have your sheets open is go ahead and create a 1/2 inch square as well as a 3/4 inch square. So the way to do that is go ahead and click on the rectangle tool. You want to make sure that your fill is set to none and your stroke is set to black. And then go ahead, select the rectangle tool and click anywhere on the screen, and this dialog box will open up. So you want one that's 0.5 by 0.5 inches. You want to make sure that your units are set to inches so that you get the right size. And then I'm going to go ahead and create another one that's 0.75 inches by 0.75 inches. So now I've got my two squares. These two squares are going to serve the purpose of my cropping tool. So what you want to do is crop each, not really actually crop it, but use these to kind of use as a pinhole to kind of select the area that you want to focus on. Now you have two squares here because you can use these as needed for any and all of the letters. You can also, if maybe this is too big for your letters, you can even go smaller if you want, so long as you make sure that it's still a square. But I wouldn't go larger than a 0.75 by 0.75, only because then it starts to get, it defeats the purpose. So you want to crop each and every single letter, and also when you're cropping them, you're basically looking for the characteristics of the typeface that put it into the certain classifications. If you go back and watch the lecture, you will know which kind of things that you're looking for each classification. So the easiest way to do this will be just to drag your square and sort of like put it in the area that you want to crop, and you're not actually cropping it out like I mentioned a second ago. You're just placing the square on top of the letter, very low commitment, like this. The other thing I want to mention is that you should sort of crop it in a way that shows as little of the letter form as possible, but still you can tell which letter it is. So for the letter A, if I do like crop it over here, I'm pretty sure that it will be pretty obvious which letter it is, but I'm still not showing the whole letter form. Now the easiest way to do this to all of your letters is to just click on the square and then hold Option and then drag, and that is going to be the easiest way for you to duplicate it. And then you just go ahead and crop each of your letters. So maybe for the letter B, I want to go a little bit smaller. I'm going to hold down Shift, and that will scale it down in a way that is equal and not skewed. Alright, and then maybe I can hold down Option and drag it like such. The other thing I wanted to mention is that you are more than welcome to rotate your box as well if you would like to. Alright, so you get the idea on how to go about doing this part, and I want you guys to keep your thoughts and notes about each of these letters, and it doesn't have to be written on this sheet. It could also be on a separate page if you want to, or you can sort of just make a quick note of it here and say that you want to show the curved part of the lowercase a. So this is enormous, so I'm going to go ahead and make this much smaller and put this close to this. I'm not looking for anything super neat and clean here. I just want to make sure that you crop each and every letter on the 3 that you select. All right, and then you're going to go ahead and go to File and then save it as whatever you want to call it, and you will be turning in 3 of these, okay? And that's going to be due next class period. So I'm looking for these 3 sheets as well as your notes. So you can put your notes on here or you can put your notes on a separate sheet. It's going to be completely up to you. Now the next part of the assignment says that you should create 3 6 by 6 inch compositions. So you're going to go up to File, New, and you want to make sure that your height and width are both 6 and you want 3 artboards. And then go ahead and click Create, and now you've got 3 artboards here. I prefer, if I were working on this assignment, I would want these to be spaced out a little bit more because you should be working with your letters and cropping them so that they run off the page, and that will give you a little bit more space to do so. So the easiest way to do that is, first of all, go up to Window and then click on Artboards, and then you're going to select this menu up here and then go to Rearrange All Artboards. For the spacing, let's put like 4 inches between each artboard, and I'm making my layout from left to right, so this is what my layout is going to look like. Now what you want to do in here is put your cropped letter form in here. Now it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to actually crop it. You can just select the letter how you have it. So for example, if I want to showcase the letter B in this sort of cropped manner that I have, I'm going to go ahead and select this whole thing and copy it, and then come back to my document and paste. So obviously this is not working well here, so what I want to do is go ahead and enlarge this, and I'm going to very simply and roughly line up my artboard with my cropping square. So this is what that is going to look like, and now you can sort of see the reason why I left so much space in between each of my artboards. I would even go as far as putting like 10 inches in between if you want to, and do it that way. So here I have one of my letters cropped, and then I'm going to go up to my other letter here, and let's say that I want to pick the letter K, and I want like this section of it right here. I select it all and bring it in here. Let's just move this over here. I'm not being like exactly precise, but I'm trying to get as close as I can. And I'm just using this as a tool. So it's not even necessary that you have to use the cropping tool when it comes to this part of the assignment. You can just simply use the letter forms how you want to. And then I'm going to grab my 3rd letter from here, and maybe I'll just take the easy way out and do like this. And maybe I want to show it like such. Okay. and rotate it a bit. So 2 of these need to be visually unequal, and 1 with visually equal amounts of positive and negative space. So let's see. And then also you are to go ahead and change the color of the background as well as the color of your text to whatever color you feel works best. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and go into my layers and create a new layer and then drag this to the bottom. I'm going to lock this first layer which has my letters on it, and then I'm going to create a shape and make it a color like such, and then go ahead and do that for each of my letters. Maybe for this one I want to go this color, and then maybe for this one I want to go here. And then I'm going to go back to my layers, lock the bottom one and unlock the top one and make my top layer. I think this would actually look good like such. Let's make this, and guys, I'm not thinking too deeply about this right now, but when you guys do yours, I want you to think a little bit more strategically than this. Let's go white here actually. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and save these, and let's name it Cropping Studies, and save it as a PDF. Save, and then your actual final product should look something along the lines of this. So this will be 1, 2, 3. Okay, do a better job than I did. I'm just here to show you how exactly to do the assignment.